The future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new Star Wars trilogy of films, but also their new Star Wars universe, which is going to consist of books, novels, comics, video games, live action and animated TV series on Disney Plus, and more. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of right now, there are over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects in the early works by, of course, Bob Chapek, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and more, that's really trying to put everything together here in order to really create a successful new expanded universe that's really going to be far larger than the old one that we got back in the 1990s and the early 2000s. Now, the thing about all of this, obviously, is that this is a big response to a lot of fans really leaving the Star Wars brand and not really watching The Rise of Skywalker, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times. In fact, it's one of the main reasons as to why Episode 9's box office results did not even match up against The Last Jedi's. Now, when we look at what they have planned for the future of Star Wars, obviously one of the big components is the return of George Lucas to really make sure that these new projects are going to be as authentic as they can possibly be in order to really reach out to the fans, in order to really kind of just understand exactly what the fans want, right? So a lot of this has to do with the Skywalker Saga, and Disney and Lucasfilm have multiple ways that they are going to bring the Skywalker Saga back, essentially, on, of course, the Disney Plus platform. Now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker Saga, technically, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe. Currently, Disney's CEO, Bob Chapek, has been cleaning up Lucasfilm and making many changes to the Star Wars franchise to make it as successful as it can be. One of the big plans by Chapek is bringing back George Lucas to take care of the Star Wars universe that they are currently developing. Now, it's noted that both Bob Chapek and George Lucas have come up with a plan to continue or bring back the Skywalker Saga in several different ways for the new Star Wars universe. Now, though it won't be in the form of movies, it's noted that George Lucas will play a large role in the development of Luke Skywalker's cameo for The Mandalorian Season 3 in 2021, as well as a live-action young Luke Skywalker TV series sometime in this decade that will show Luke's journey to becoming a Jedi Master. Now, honestly, what's really exciting is that it's explained that this plan by George is to continue the story of Luke Skywalker and more, where not just that, but also an untitled animated TV series is said to be a post-The Rise of Skywalker era that will explore a major story of Ben Solo and Rey Skywalker, and that they plan to create new Skywalkers in a post-Episode 9 era. But not just that, it was George Lucas who came up with the idea to resurrect the concept of Luke Skywalker's son in the new Star Wars universe. It's said that in the new universe, George has a plan to bring back the character of Ben Skywalker from Legends. However, there have been discussions and conversations about changing his name possibly to not get his character confused with Ben Solo, since, of course, he too is considered a Skywalker. This is another way of George to actually have plans to continue the bloodline of the Skywalkers, where there is even an untitled series that will involve Anakin Skywalker on some level. Though it's unclear if that will actually be a live-action or animated form, George is said to also be the one who convinced Bob Chapek that the Skywalkers are the selling point of Star Wars, and that they must continue at least for a batch of years before they completely move on and strictly to newer characters only. So, what's really exciting about this is that this is going to be George and Chapek's way of continuing the Skywalker Saga. Now, yes, the marketing of Episode 9 was, this is the end of the Skywalker Saga, that's it, nothing more after this. And that may very well be true, at least in the form of movies, right? So we can see that they're moving the Skywalker Saga over to Disney Plus in the form of television. How do I feel about this? Well, there's two sides that are actually really good. The good thing about this is that you're going to have multiple seasons worth of Skywalker Saga material, and that honestly also leads to more character development for whoever they want to introduce, in these particular stories, such as, a version of Luke that we never got to see, which is a post-Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. We're talking about maybe 3 years after the events of Episode 6, even more than that possibly, just showing us perhaps like a 30-year-old Luke or a mid-30s Luke, kind of just becoming the Jedi Master that he needs to be, discovering Jedi lore and more. We'd never seen anything like that in the form of live action, and that's something that we could have gotten a glimpse of in The Rise of Skywalker in the form of flashbacks. However, Kathleen Kennedy put an end to those ideas by JJ. Now, the other thing that does worry me a little bit is how they're going to continue the Skywalkers in a post-Rise of Skywalker era, and of course, bringing back Luke's son. Will it be accurate to Legends or not? That's a big question. But yeah, guys, like I say, let me know what you think about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we